Kentucky just smoked Miami. I still am honestly a little bit rattled by this performance that we just saw from the Wildcats. I mean, that team tonight was, I think, the best team in the country. Like, I don't know who's beating them if they play the way they just played tonight. I want to throw to you for general thoughts on this, but just one little number I want to note before we get too far into this. I said all week I liked Miami in this spot because we haven't seen Kentucky play a full 40-minute game. I went back to look it up. Against Kansas in the Champions Classic, Kentucky was up 14 points with 16 minutes left. And then you saw what happened. They lost that game. They crumbled. Tonight, against Miami, up 14 points with 16 minutes left. You saw what happened. They ran that lead into a 30-point blowout victory. It was just pure domination. How impressed by the Cats are you?
Yeah, this offense is legit. We saw it on display, like a 21-4 run to open the half. It just completely got out of hand. And it's interesting just because all offseason we heard this recruiting class isn't that great. Like, this is not your typical number one recruiting class. There were concerns about DJ Wagner, Rob Dillingham being ball stoppers. I feel like I heard numerous of our friends who work in the same space say, why would Antonio Reeves come back? He's never getting the ball. And yet here we are. And going into tonight, Kentucky was assisting on 58% of their made field goals, which was 52nd nationally. Not only did they exceed that tonight, they went ahead and assisted on 70% of their field goals, 26 assists on 37 makes. The ball movement was great. We saw like that foreshadowing of that at Global Jam. And I know it was Global Jam. They were playing against the Sean Paul All-Stars. Like, I understand people taking that with a grain of salt, but the way that Trey Mitchell moves the ball and the way like Dillingham in particular, I thought was so impressive. He was running pick and rolls with Jordan Burks and just carving up Miami completely. Like, Dillingham was supposed to be the most ball stopper of them all. And here he is dishing 9 assists. Like, I think this Kentucky team is so potent, especially at home. Like, it's going to be so tough to beat them at Rupp. And you could say Miami's probably a little bit overrated as the number 8 team in the country when their KenPom numbers, I think, still have them in the 40s. But still, like, you can't take anything away from this just being an absolute statement win for the Cats.
Yeah, terrifying, I think, is the word to describe Kentucky right now. Here's why it's terrifying. I think they're going to get a ton better. Like, both the guys that were on the floor tonight and also the team, because they're about to get some huge help in the front court very soon when they get Aaron Bradshaw back. And look, they did this tonight with no DJ Wagner in the second half. And if you saw the slow down video of him at the free throw line, if you can read some lips, it didn't look very good with what he's saying about his injury right now. So obviously we hope he comes back to full strength and comes back very soon. But it's just a testament to both the depth and the talent this Kentucky team has, but more importantly, how ready to play some of these freshmen are. I mean, you don't see that with every Cal team. The best ones you definitely do. Like, obviously, you can go back through the teams that won in March and won regular season championships. Those guys had 32-minute a game freshmen from the moment they stepped on the floor. And right now, he's got 2 of them coming off the bench. Like, Reed Sheppard has an argument that he's one of the 10 best players in the country right now. He does absolutely everything. The kid can't miss a three-pointer. His mom's hair scares me. And then Rob Dillingham has 9 assists to 0 turnovers. Everybody was worried that he's like a crazy guy who does stupid things. He looks like a savant right now. I'm like shaking. That's how nervous I am about this Kentucky team. Is the Reed Sheppard stuff real though? Like, I watch this kid do what he's doing, and I just keep waiting for it to stop. Do I need to stop doing that?
To me, he's probably his percentages from the 3 are probably gonna come down to earth. I mean, he came into tonight shooting 67%. I think he went 3 for 4. So whatever that math would be, he's pushing 70% from 3. That's not sustainable, but I love that he's, he's so much more than just the white shooter archetype. He can get steals. He had a block tonight. He can put the ball on the deck a little bit. I know his dad played at Kentucky. Do you know his dad's name by chance off the top of your head?
Oh my God, I should know this, and I don't. Let me look it up.
Because I couldn't remember what his name was, and I just decided that his dad is now Reed Sr.
It's Jeff Shepard. More importantly, do you know his mom's name?
I do not. What's his mom's name?
Give it a good guess. What do you think his mom's name is?
Don't tell me it's Karen.
It's not Karen. It's Stacy with an EY, though. I mean, solid. Stacy Shepard. I'm so blown away by him. Like I was familiar with his game. I heard there was a lot of offseason hype, like, oh, this could be an impact guy. And even when he's had good games this season, I've come away feeling it's entirely unsustainable. It's not unsustainable. This kid's smart. He's always in the right spot. He works his butt off defensively. All the Caucasian tropes we've heard through the years about guys who play hard and play smart, right? He also has a burner from three. He also is like a sick defensive instincts guy who's like quick and blocks shots and gets steals and plays 3 plays before they happen. It's just wildly impressive. And I don't know what happens because, I mean, obviously he's coming off the bench. He's the best impact guy Kentucky's had off the bench since Devin Booker. So, I don't know what you do with that.
The instincts part, again, is insane. And, like, I know we say this all the time, sleepers, not a math pod. We look at advanced stats. That's not necessarily our MO. I feel like you and I are on the same page where we like using advanced stats to back the eye test. We don't just want to come hit you with a bunch of numbers. That being said, Reed Sheppard is 3rd in the country in steal rate. He has a 7.2 steal rate, and he's about a 5% block percentage, which is top 220 in the country, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot until you realize there's 362 teams, and he's 6'3". With this block percentage. Like, those instincts are real, just like you said. He's, I mean, at this point, he's a one and done. It's really that simple.
He might not be real. That's really where I'm at. Like, I'm starting to think about this more. I'm going to concoct a couple conspiracy theories about how this kid has become so good so quickly. But look, man, it's not just him. Like, obviously he was great. He was probably the headliner tonight, but you're right. Antonio Reeves is still there doing Antonio Reeves things. I thought Trey Mitchell was phenomenal in the front court. I thought it would be a huge mismatch for him with Omier. Instead, little Rupp Arena whistle. Norchad Omier picked up 2 quick ones. He fouled out with 20 points and 6 rebounds tonight. I don't think Miami had much of a chance with Omier in foul trouble, but they definitely did close to the end of the first half. I mean, before that Kentucky run, Miami had a 6-point lead. So I really do think this is much more about how good Kentucky is right now. And I'm ready to say it. I said I like both these teams before this game, but like, now I've seen Kentucky play 40 full minutes. I think they're the second best team in the country when they play like that. The question is, how often are they going to play like that? Is that crazy for me to give them that type of praise, though?
I don't think it's crazy to say, like, I'd probably say Kentucky at their ceiling would be in the same tier as Purdue, Arizona, and UConn. And I guess if you want to throw Marquette in that tier as well, like, that's, in my opinion, those top 3 teams, Purdue, Arizona, UConn, have separated themselves from the pack, and like Marquette is right there. Kentucky, when they play like this, yes, they're in that conversation. But again, I love these freshmen. Like, you hit on it. They're so ready to play. It seems like they haven't really needed any time to adjust. Again, I can't say enough about Dillingham. Like, he's skinny, dude. He's like 150 pounds. I thought there was no way that he was going to average more than like 7 points a game, because so much of his production throughout his career has just been based off of making like tough contested jumpers. And I didn't think that was going to be replicated. And it's whatever bad habits he had, like, they're being limited and his talents are being maximized. But even with that said, like, I got to temper it a little bit. The nature of it being still a freshman heavy team, unless you're just getting Antonio Reeves going God mode, which he's capable to do, or Trey Mitchell taking over a game or something, you're going to have some off nights here and there. I mean, we saw it against St. Joe's. It'll probably happen some in SEC play as well.
So I'm starting to realize why I love Kentucky so much the more we talk this through. I think last year's Kentucky team, Antonio Reeves was the player that scared me most on that team. This year, Antonio Reeves is like 4th, and he's still the same guy, if not like better than he was last year. Like, it's just crazy, man. People wrote Cal off way too early. Like, at this time last year, it was like real questions for his job and why doesn't he run offense? This dude can't do it. Like, you know what? Kentucky's offense looks like the best offense in the country when they shoot like they did tonight. So I get it. It's always come down to, does Cal get the right guys? this year he got the right guys, and this is a national championship contender, and I don't think that should swing the narratives anymore. I think he's just a great coach when he gets dudes, and he found the right dudes. Last thing, should we be super worried for Miami, or is this just like a blip on the radar? Nigel Pack tonight, 2 points, 1 for 6 from the floor. He might as well have not played. He did nothing.
Yeah, I saw Matthew Cleveland took 3 shots in 27 minutes. Like, that is a recipe for failure. Like, what are you doing, Matt? Like, even Cleveland, when he came into this Miami team, his knock was like, can he play without the ball? Is he the type of dude like a Cam Reddish type who needs the ball in his hands, and when you move him off ball, his value is going to be diminished? He's largely debunked that this year and has been a star going into this game. But this would have been one of the games where maybe it would be nice, Matt, to play a little more on ball and on your offense some. It looks like your Canes needed it. Ultimately, I still think it's a blip. Like, I don't think Miami's the 8th best team in the country. I also don't think they're the 40 whateverth best team in the country that KenPom has them. I think they're somewhere in that 15 to 25 range. Good news is their first loss. I don't know what their schedule's like and if they have any more big tests going up. But I mean, yeah, they're going to be right in the mix when it comes to the ACC title. So I can't say I'm overly worried about them.
Matthew Cleveland to me tonight looked like what I would have expected Matthew Cleveland to look like if he had transferred to North Carolina, not Miami. You don't like that stray?
I don't like that stray at all.
It's the night before our bet, my friend. Come on.
If he transferred to North Carolina, we would have the best wing duo in the country with him and Harrison Ingram, and we'd be talking about banner number 7.
I was envisioning him in the Harrison Ingram role, for the record. Look, I expected more from Cleveland tonight. He was really, really bad, is what it is. Some Pete Nance last year vibes to me in Cleveland's performance tonight. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
All right. For the record, I'm not super worried about Miami. I don't know why they no-showed tonight. I do think Omir's foul trouble had a huge thing to do with this. And then I think Kentucky just went in fuego for 15 minutes, and Miami was looking around like, what are we supposed to do about this? All these dudes are NBA players. Like, I talk so much about age and experience mattering in this game. Nah, NBA talent is what mattered in this game. The 18-year-olds played like 23-year-olds, and the 23-year-olds played like guys who are going to need desk jobs in 12 months. So, look, both teams will be fine. I expect both teams to be serious contenders come NCAA tournament, but wow, what a statement from the Kentucky Wildcats. And if you like this recap, you can see more recaps and previews from us on the Sleepers Media channel. This is Riley Davis from Heat Check CBB. I'm Greg Waddell from Sleepers Media. We'll see you next time.